Equity investors lose in equities due to peer pressure. If you want to come to equities, friends, you need to do one exercise. And this exercise suggested by Solomon Ash. If you go to a lift, assume that आप एक lift में जा रहे हैं, right? You are at the ground floor and you go to the 10th floor. आप lift में जाते हैं, you enter into the lift. It's a huge lift. And you find that all the walls are mirrors in the lift. सब जगह शीशा लगा हुआ है. And as soon as you enter the lift, you find that you're the only person in the lift. There is no one else. Door closes. And the mirror around and the lights around. What you will do? आप क्या करते हैं? Any idea? Lift में अकेले हैं, आप क्या करते हैं? You'll stand like this. You look at from all the corners, isn't it? Immediately you take the comb out, अपना बाल बनाएंगे, and you will thank God there is no second creature like you in this world. You'll be so happy with yourself, isn't it? This will happen to you. This is how you'll react in the lift. This is scene number 1. Scene number 2, you enter the lift, you find there are 6 people standing. And they've occupied all the walls. They will stand with the wall like this, right? They've occupied all the wall. You search the place for you, there is no place. So you have to search, you have to stand in middle of that. And when you stand in middle, how do you stand? 90% of you doesn't look anywhere, look down only. You cannot dare to take your comb out and comb your hair, isn't it? Has it ever happened? This is called peer pressure. Friends, in the lift also you cannot stand the way you want to stand. In the lift also you cannot stand the way you want to stand. The day you will enter into the lift and ask some gentlemen to move aside so that you can comb your hairs, you will become equity investors. That kind of courage you need to become equity investors. Because markets will fall and markets will rise. That's a very simple thing to understand. Now look at this, the people, those who have taken 3, I am with them, they have taken risk, because higher the risk, higher the reward. But whether you are a person who will always take risks, that's very important. Whether it's your decision or it's a decision of your family members or your friends. That should not happen, friends. Yes, sir.
I have a question. I want to go back to that example of yours.
Which one?
This A versus B.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying A is good or B is good. This is what is appropriate to you. Nothing else.
I have a different question.
Yeah.
The return, as far as I'm concerned, is the same in A and B.
Right.
But B is giving me a lot of volatility.
Right.
So isn't A superior to B as a choice because of the absence of volatility?
We can't say it's superior. I will understand this caution as well. I'll come back to this, right? Now look at this. There is a second option. There's a second scenario now. Second scenario is that you have come here in this hall and we want to incentivize you. And instead of giving 1,000 rupees, now we are giving rupees 2,000 to you, right? But this rupees 2,000 will come with 2 riders. C, whose rider is? That will, after giving 2,000 rupees, we'll give you 2,000 rupees as soon as you enter into the hall. And when you leave the hall, we'll say that your performance in the hall was not good. You were not participating in discussion. We are not happy with you. And you will be charged 500 rupees back. You have to give us 500 rupees back. So 500 rupees is a loss to you, isn't it? Instead of 2,000 rupees, how much money you are carrying now? 1,500 rupees. So there is a loss of 500 rupees. And this is for sure. You have to pay back 500 rupees. This is for sure. You have to undergo the pain of this loss. Right? This is option D. I will toss a coin. If it is head, there is no loss. There will be no loss to you. You can avoid the pain of loss. Right? But if it is T, you will be taken 1,000 rupees. This is sure loss. Come what may, you will undergo the pain of this loss. Here you can avoid the loss. What you will take? You will take C or you will take D? Confusion? Now look at this. Now the house is divided, isn't it? Why the house is divided? Okay, how many people? Let me see how many people will take C. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people are taking C. So how many people are taking 6? So 34 people are taking D. Why goodness, what's happening here? Please tell me, what is risk? Risk is called uncertainty, isn't it? Right? Now look at this scenario. A is certain or B is certain? A is certain. Which one is uncertain? B is uncertain. Here, which one is certain? A, C or certain? D is certain? C is certain. Which one is uncertain? D. My friends, look at this. And this is a Nobel Prize winning exercise called prospect theory. And that's why we don't earn from equities. Look at this. You are taking risk. You are not taking risk to earn profits, but you are taking risk to avoid losses. You are taking risk to avoid losses. You are not taking risk to increase profits. Why at all you come to equities? Please tell me honestly. Why at all you come to equities? To earn profits. But as soon as you come to equities, why you start attempting to avoid losses? That's not your job. If you want to avoid losses, why at all you come to equities? You remain outside, na? You are in a search of house on rent, and somebody told you you like the house very much, but the broker tells you this is a haunted house, whether you will go inside or not. You will decide outside, na? After going inside, you will decide, no, na? Outside only you will decide whether you want to live in a haunted house or not. Similarly, in equities, why you want to come to equities? Be clear about it. If you want to avoid losses, don't come to equities at all. But once you come to equities, strategize for profits, not for avoiding losses. You take risk to increase reward, friends. This is what we read. But in practice, we take risk to avoid losses. Let me give you a simple example. Do you believe in God? Confusing question, eh? Any idea? Do you believe in God? Yes or no? Okay. Very serious question, friends. And, so you believe in God. So if I say God, you say yes. Do you believe in ghosts? Spirits? Do you believe in ghosts? Very less yes, I hear. Yes or no? Half yes, half no. Okay. Yes, no, both is there. Yes and no. What does it mean? If I ask you the probability, where the probability is higher? Existence of God or existence of ghost? Where is the probability is higher? Who is omnipresent? Who is called omnipresent? Ghost or God? I know. God is everywhere. God is everywhere. So the probability of God is higher and God is omnipresent. Now assume that you are going from a jungle. You're going from a jungle and you have been cautioned that cross this jungle before the night. Because what will happen in night? In night it becomes very dangerous. Ghost is there and God is there. Whom you will see? 100% of you will see ghost only. Why? What's the reason? Because at that time, it will never come to your mind, God should not come, or God should come. You will say, ghost should not come, and ghost comes. The probability is less, but happening is, what will happen to you? You will see only ghost. So when you invest in equities, there is a very small probability of loss, and there is huge probability of profits. But after investing, if you keep on thinking, loss should not happen, loss only will happen to you. This is called law of attraction. Why it happens? Because we start stressing to avoid losses. Never ever do this if you invest in equities, friends. And let me tell you, as an Indian, friends, you are in a country called India, and India today is the safest place to be in equities. Why I say so? For a very simple reason. The simple reason is, look at this. In the US today, US household per capita income, Indian American per capita income is 86,000 and white American income is 54,000. How many of you know this? You know the best performers in the world are Indians. They have the highest, the richest people in America today are Indians, not whites. Any idea why it happens? Why it happened? Nothing. Most selective from each nation of the world, sir. Each nation of world, look at this. They are also selective from Britain. They are also selective South Africans. They are selective Britishans. They are selective Russians. They are selective Australians. All are selective from their country. The why Indians are best. You know the reason? That the biggest reason, friends, is two words. These two words are savings and family. Indians are one of the best savers in the world. And why they save? Because they have a family. They have a family. It is not that Americans and Europeans, America, forget about this, is a great country because there's a country of settlers. That's why America is growing. But take my word, in 15 years, America will not be the country of whites. In 2014, 52% babies born are non-whites in America, right? And a lot of Hispanics and other Mexicans are coming to America. America welcomed them because otherwise country cannot grow. And this is what Japan and Europe is not allowing, so they are not going. This is declining societies. So what does it mean by declining societies? Why with all this strength, all this strength, technology, understanding of economics, knowledge, these countries are not progressing? Because they don't save. And why they don't save? Because they are not families. The only negative of economic growth, friends, there is no negative of economic growth, but there is only negative of economic growth is population. Birth rate falls because money means freedom. And as soon as the money means freedom, the division of labor vanishes from the society. You must have observed that in the humans, if you see the history of humans, we have a close cousins called Australopithecus. We have a close cousins called Neanderthals. We are Homo sapiens. If you see the human beings, there is only one breed called Homo sapiens. There is no other breed. But all other animals, you will find several breeds, isn't it? You must have observed this. Why humans have only one breed? There are no close cousins. Neanderthals, we killed them. So what happened to Australopithecus? Australopithecus, when they were hunters and gatherers, both men and women used to go for hunting and gathering, hunting out of cave. So kids will remain alone in the cave. So what will happen? Predators kill the kids. So why kids died? Because there was no perfect division of labor. And this is what's happening in Japan. Japan girls don't want to become mother. You can find out at your own source. They don't want to become mother. Right? They take it as a challenge. If I'll become mother, what will happen? The men, my husband or whoever is, he'll be ahead of me in the career. I don't want kids. There is no solution. Russia, you know what has happened?
I understand the government incentivizes for you to marry.
They have done, but that doesn't work. That doesn't work. In some countries, they have put higher taxes. If you don't have kids, you have to pay higher taxes.
Yeah, plus don't say it. You play penalty for
Exactly. You know Russia, what's happening? The national day of Russia is June 12. So 9 months before is the day 12th September. Russia observed 2 days. National day, that is June 12, and they observe one more day, day of conception, September 12. They observe the day for conception. And the girls who become mother on June 12 are rewarded with a car. That kind of incentives are there, right? And this is the strength of India. India has all the three things, as I told you: technology, number 2, population, and number 3, inflation. This is the third most important thing I want to discuss with you, friends. India has something called inflation. What inflation does it to you? Let us understand this. Today, it's 7th of October, and you want to buy a car on the Dashera, that is 22nd of this month. So you have decided to buy a car after 15 days on Dashera. It's a Subh Muhurta for you. And just now, today evening, you received a SMS from your friend, and he says that the price of the car is going to rise in Dashera. What you will do? What you will do? You will buy tomorrow itself. Why you are buying car tomorrow itself? Because price is going to rise. So if there is inflation, if there is inflationary pressure, if you believe that price is going to rise, what will the impact on your consumption behavior? You will spend immediately, right? Now assume the other thing. You want to buy car tomorrow. We have decided tomorrow the Shubh Muhurta, 11 o'clock, you are going to showroom and buy the car. Today night you receive the SMS from your friend, the car prices are going to fall next month. What you will do? You will postpone your consumption. Friends, your country is the only country in the world where there is inflation. Don't hate inflation. Inflation is your friend. Inflation is like blood pressure. A human body needs a blood pressure of 80/120. Is it not? If a patient reports with a blood pressure of 150, 110, 100, 150, what doctor will do? What doctor will do? Doctor will advise some lifestyle changes, make some drugs, and will ask him to go back, monitor your BP, and come back to me after 1 month. This is what a doctor will do. Assume that the patient reports with the blood pressure of 60, 70, what doctor will do? Immediately admit. So low inflation is dangerous compared to high inflation. I'm talking low inflation. Now a family of a person reports, brings a patient to the hospital and doctor says there is no BP. What does it mean? There is no more. So if economy with no inflation, what does it mean? It's the dead economy. Here's Japan is a dead economy. For the last 20 years, the GDP has no rise. No rise at all. Right? You have inflation. You are from a country who has inflation, friends. That's why your country is growing. Understand this. And the last and the most important thing, friends, your nation has changed politically. This is the most important thing. Till date, you are used to give votes to a party, which party used to promise to you, I will ensure to hatao garibi from India. हम गरीबी हटाएंगे. आप वोट किसको दे रहे थे? हम गरीबी हटाएंगे. अभी आप कौन सी पार्टी को वोट देना चाहते हैं जो पार्टी ये बोलती है कि हम प्रॉस्पेरिटी लाएंगे. दिस कंट्री टुक 70 years to understand this कि गरीबी हटाने के लिए प्रॉस्पेरिटी लाना पड़ता है. We took 70 years. Now what's the difference? What's the impact will be? Understand this. Assume that you have been asked to become a finance minister of a party, the party which has won on the slogan of गरीबी हटाओ. Assume कीजिए कि आप एक ऐसी पार्टी के वित्त मंत्री फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर बन रहे हैं जो चुनाव इस बात पे जीत के आई है कि गरीबी हटाना है. And you have started making budget. Who is the first person who will come to your mind? Poor man? Scenario 1. Scenario 2. You have won election with a slogan that I will bring prosperity. और अभी आप बजट बना रहे हैं. Who is the first person?